Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Brampton Board of Trade's Expert Interview Series. Today, we're joined by Susan Erwin, who is VP of Ontario for WCG Employment Services. The topic today is finding talent. It's the transformation of employment services at SEAL, how it's being managed by WCG, and how it impacts your business, hopefully in a very positive way. I understand that more than 20,000 job seekers form the roster of WCG Employment Ontario Peel. And we're going to learn more about how employers can easily, seamlessly, quickly tap those resources. As I mentioned, Susan Erwin is the VP of Ontario WCG Employment Services. And there's been a big transformation. WCG has been partnering, WCG, I should say, is a private company. It's been partnering with governments and local agencies across Canada to create sustainable employment opportunities for people, helping businesses and their communities to prosper. Employment Ontario provides training, skills, and experience for Ontarians so that they can meet their employment goals. She's new to the VP role, just over 90 days or so. It sounds like a big job at a very interesting time in the history of employment services, but she's up for the job. She's had senior roles in multiple telecommunication companies across the country. She's worked at all levels of the organization, from a frontline technician to VP of operations, and her ability to assess complex situations and design effective solutions has served her well while building dynamic teams focused on results. So she is a customer experience transformation expert, and that certainly resonates well with the business community, having to find new ways to delight their customers in this COVID storm. She has both private and public sector clients in the past, from Bell Canada, Rogers, Northwest Tel, and the Family Responsibility Office within the Ontario government. She's bringing positive disruption. We like positive disruption. We don't like the other kind. Positive disruption to WCG, focusing on system-wide transformational opportunities that impacts the people, the culture, the processes, and fiscal accountability for the program as well. Welcome, Susan. We're so happy that you're here today to tell us a little bit more about WCG.
Well, thank you, Todd, and thank you for the very warm welcome. And yes, I am new. I'm new to WCG and to the industry, so I'm learning along with everybody else, but it's been very exciting.
Oh, super. I know that one of the top priorities, we survey our members often, and they tell us that finding talent is one of the top issues today. It's a bit of a paradox that we're in. COVID has made employment forecasting, budgeting, etc., quite uncertain. And I understand that we're in a weird mismatch where employers are starving for qualified personnel, where at the same time, job seekers are having a difficult time finding work. Our unemployment rate is up, I think up to 7% now. So it's a really strange time in history. And that's why the work that you do is so important to help match job seekers with employers. So why don't we start off with just providing us with some context, if you will, Susan. Can you give us an overview of employment services, the transformation, and what WCG does as the service system manager for Peel Region?
Absolutely, Todd, and thank you for that. It is an interesting time in the history, employment history in the world, with COVID and the pandemic, and many people, job seekers, are absolutely reevaluating where they are in their careers, whether it's whether they're immigrating or they're new to the employment, or they're just taking stock of what their what their options are out there, and that is creating that vortex between with what we used to know as employers and job seekers. So, but as you said, let me first give you an overview of what WCG is. And WCG, as you mentioned earlier, it is an industry leader in developing and delivering employment and vocational rehab services across Canada. And for more than 25 years, we have been partnering with governments and local service delivery organizations, as you said, to create that sustainable employment opportunities for people, for businesses, and for their communities. And every day we help people reach their employment goals and improve the quality of their lives, many of them with multiple complex barriers to entering or re-entering, as we said, the workforce. Our participants include people with disabilities, Indigenous people, youth, veterans, and many other demographic groups that are underrepresented in the labor market. But WCG is part of the APM group, and the APM group delivers employment and allied health services internationally. Our global network of companies shares a core purpose, and that's to enable better lives. And in the last 12 months, our team of over 6,600 people in 10 countries have reached the lives of more than 1 million people, including those right here in Peel region. In 2019, the Ministry of Labor, Training and Skills Development launched the transformation of employment services in 3 prototype catchment areas across Ontario, with the remainder being tendered over the next 2 to 3 years. And WCG was awarded the transformation here in Peel. So at that time, the government of Ontario released the communications that they were seeking innovative and effective and efficient approaches to better connect individuals, including those in receipt of our social assistance programs, people with disabilities, Indigenous people, Francophonies, and those who have unique needs to achieve sustainable employment. The transformed system intends to work more effectively to meet your employer's needs and to better match job seekers to those employers. Included as part of the transformation was the integration of employment support services for Ontario Works and the Ontario Disability Support Program, all coming together into one system. And the goals of the integrated employment services was to create a more unified provincial employment system to improve client service and experience in our programs, to achieve better outcomes for all clients and job seekers and our local employer partners, and increase the accountability to achieve a long-term outcome of increased employment and to build a highly skilled labor force in Ontario. As we all know, work gives hope and creates a sense of belonging and has the power to change lives for the better. And Ontario Employment Peel helps job seekers find the work, and we also support the employers to find the right people with the right skills at the right time.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's say an employer has an opening. They have a job description. What's the first step, and what are the benefits of an employer engaging or reaching out to WCG Employment Ontario in order to fill their vacancy?
Well, all the employers need to do, and you'll see all the contact information behind me, is to contact WCG or Employment Ontario Peel at those contact those contact numbers. And what we do is we'll assess your needs, the skills you're looking for, the support you need, and we will either connect you to a service provider that is best positioned to meet those needs with the job seekers that they have, or we will expand it across the our 22 our 22 service providers across the Peel region.
Okay. And I made the assumption that I have my job description ready for you. Do you also, when I heard you say that you'll touch base and assess the employer's needs as well, does that include maybe crafting of a job description?
We would help you look and ensure that job description is there. But we have the more important integral supports that we would provide employers is really to the Employment Services Transformation and Employment Ontario, not just in Peel, but Employment Ontario everywhere, is more than just a job board or just a place where you can post your job, your job requirements. We provide many more supports for employees, like needs analysis. We'll look at solutions that are focused on what training do you need, do your staff need, what funding, and we'll also look at of course, the talent pool of job ready clients. But we'll also do job fairs for you. We'll look at funding for onboarding and training costs and incentives. So you get the experience and the expertise of the entire network in a single suite of solutions to help you with that job description or that job need that you have.
Wow, that's a very comprehensive set of benefits for an employer. As you mentioned, the assessment itself from professionals on your team, addressing not only the vacancies, the core skills required to fill those vacancies, but you mentioned the training of existing staff as well as the onboarding for newcomers. You also manage the pool of talent and make sure that they're job ready. And you mentioned too that you have the possibility of doing job fairs for employers. So that's and lastly, matching, helping employers be aware of what funding might be there for training, for job creation. I know as we record this today, we're near Canada's first day of Truth and Reconciliation, and you've mentioned that the Indigenous population of job seekers is a core part of your talent pool, and it would, I think that is another benefit for employers that are looking to look at different pools, different life experiences of individuals to join their firms. You would be able to make some introductions, to vet some people that are job ready for them. That's a tremendous service that you're providing.
It is, Todd, and Employment Ontario is also, like in the old program, it was a lot about just job placements. There wasn't a lot of incentive or collaboration to ensure retention support. And Employment Ontario is now offering, as part of their package, a comprehensive retention support service for both employers and job seekers. And it includes a dedicated employment consultant who will work with you and spend time with your employee to settle them in. They'll work with employees to ensure they're able to meet your performance standards, the employer's performance standards. They'll support and educate your team, as I said, and so that they can say it's a person with a disability or a newcomer, so they're able and ready to bring that employee on board. And through the life of up to and even longer than a year, will help with any issues that arise throughout that employment timeframe. We'll also get new equipment. So regardless of what the job seeker is, as I said, it's more than just a job posting service. It's really a full suite of services.
Well, that's I'm really happy that you mentioned that one feature, which is follow-up. So as you've said in the older model, placement would occur, and you might not see the agency for some time down the road, whereas you've built in a year's worth of monitoring to ensure that the person that has been placed in the employer are mutually benefiting from the relationship. That's very, very valuable service as well. Tell me about eligibility criteria. Are all employers eligible to access the services of WCG? Is there a cost to accessing your services?
It is absolutely free of charge, and it's open to any employer.
Good answer. No, well, that really makes it easy for businesses, doesn't it?
It does. It makes it very easy for businesses to really find that pool of job ready clients and to ensure that they come on and into a real full job and not just a kind of a test job to see if it's going to work. We help them get in there.
And how about the eligibility criteria for job seekers? A lot of people will be returning to the workforce now that COVID restrictions are lessening and business operating has a little bit more flexibility. Is there any particular criteria required? I'm just wondering from an employer's perspective, what should they expect in the talent pool that you're offering? Are they generally unskilled, or do they have degrees? Any eligibility criteria among the job seekers?
No, there's no criteria at all. They can be unemployed, they could be underemployed, they could be newcomers to Canada with that require Canadian experience on their resumes. It's open to everybody.
Great, great. Wow, that's super. So it's a wide pool of talent that's available. Well, that's wonderful. Um, I'm just wondering if there's anything else that you might be able to share with us about the program. You've got a 1-888 number there, and I think we see your website as well. It's EO for Employment Ontario, of course, EO Peel Employer at WCGservices.com. Here's a question: is the service that's provided in Peel different than provided in other regions of Ontario? Is this a special project of some sort?
Yeah, it is, Todd. It's a it's a prototype. We're working with both the MLTSD, so the Ministry of Labor, Skills to Trade Development, as well as the Ministry of Community Children, the MCCSS, Community, Children and Social Services, and collaborating with the 3 catchment areas. Currently, it's Peel, where SSM, where WCG is. It's Hamilton Niagara, and it's Muskoka Kawarthas. So those 3 catchment areas are currently providing the services as I've described today, but they are expanding, and with the intent that over the next 2 to 3 years, it will be an Ontario-wide program.
Oh, that's wonderful. We always like being at the forefront in Peel when it comes to new innovative services. So that's great to see. So WCG, as you've described, is bringing in full cycle services in terms of assessing the needs of employers, vetting the talent pool, identifying training that may be required for the individual or with existing staff. These are all really important innovations that, as you say, is a pilot now for 3 regions in Ontario, and hopefully the learnings from that WCG in Ontario gets from the work with employers here in Peel and Muskoka and Hamilton Niagara will expand the program across the province and be better for job seekers, employers, and better to the taxpayers as well in terms of the efficiencies that you're bringing to the system. That's great. Is there anything else, Susan, that you want employers to know about the services of Employment Ontario Peel?
There's a couple of things that I feel are quite important. Is that our amazing cadre of service providers have been in the business for a very long time, and they're very committed to the employers they serve and the job seekers that they work with. They still do the amazing job that they've always done. The second thing, and I mentioned it before, is that as I said, it is so much more than just job placement or another place to post your job. The training that we provide for staff, if you're in the hospitality industry, we'll make sure that they have their Smart Serve, they have their CPR training, WMIS training if they're in manufacturing, for example. For employers, the it's the tools that we provide you to support the clients, ergonomic assessments and inclusion and sensitivity training, disability training, equity, diversity, and inclusion training. Like the list goes on and what we can do to make sure that you as the employer have what you need to ensure that the client that you, or the employee that you take on, is brought into your organization with all the supports that they need. The job, we prepare our clients, we ensure that they're job ready, and we remain your main point of contact for retention. We all know that retention, I think I saw in a study, to hire a new employee to hire a new employee into a vacant job can cost up to as much as 21% of that employee's salary. So retention is very important, and we take that very, very seriously, and we provide that support that we need. So
that's great.
It's just that I can't. I'm as coming from the private sector, Todd, and knowing what it takes to bring an employee on board, having come into this industry and seeing what the Ontario government and their employment services transformation is doing, I wish I had known about it before, because it provides so much that I always had to go looking for myself.
Wow, that's wonderful. So not only have you taken time to really think through the hiring relationship and what's required in the workplace, so you have this wonderful comprehensive suite of services, but you mentioned you also have the network of 22 service providers, people that have been experienced in this market for many years, and the innovations that you bring. I was on your website recently, and I saw that you really do think of try to think of everything. You've developed an interesting partnership with Hop-In Transit as well. So for employers that might be experiencing problems with absenteeism or late arrivals due to gaps in the municipal transit system, if they seek out WCG support, there may be connections to Hop-In, which is also a member of the Brampton Board of Trade, that offers that very innovative last mile connection between municipal transit stops in the front door of the plant or the office. So that's very innovative in itself as well.
It is, and Hop-In is one example of community providers that are out there throughout Peel that are seeking to support the job seekers, the employers, and they come to us, and we're able to, as you say, provide it more broadly and universally across the Peel region. I was really impressed with the commitment that the community has in ensuring that the employers and the job seekers within Peel are supported with whatever it is that they require.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, Susan, thank you so much for taking a moment in our expert interview series. You're definitely an expert in helping employers find talented people. You've done a great job of outlining for us the suite of services, the network of professionals, and how easy it is for employers to reach out through the website or through the 1-800 number, 1-888-353-8140. We've put that in the chat as well. And thank you so much for taking time to outline the program for us.
That's great. That's great. I see that Judith asked a question that some employers already have partnerships with the providers. They can still access. Absolutely, Judith. Nothing changes if you're already working with it. We can expand your reach. If instead of just reaching out to one service provider, you can access all of them.
Oh, very good question, and I'm glad you saw that. And thank you for the response as well, Susan. Very, very good. Okay, well, that's great. This was, I think, a very informative one. If you want to know more about WCG, you can go to wcgservices.com. If you enjoyed this expert series or want to tell a friend about it, it has been recorded. It will be posted on our website. That's bramptonbot.com. A little later today. And our next expert series will be on October 18th. Sean Roth is the new branch manager for BDC, the Business Development Corporation. He'll be kicking off Small Business Week with an insightful interview with me talking about what entrepreneurs and particularly Canadian entrepreneurs are experiencing ahead, coming out of the pandemic, and the issues in terms of exporting and digital transformation, the demographic change. No shortage of change on the horizon, that's for sure. Before that, though, October 6th, Mike Robitaille from Deloitte will be doing an interesting insight session on companies for the people, how to be a purpose-driven company. So you'll want to mark those two dates, October 6th for Mike Robitaille and Sean Roth on October 18th. You can find all of our events on bramptonbot.com. We do have an opportunity for you to share some of the challenges that you're having as a business, or some of the opportunities that you'd like to capture. Maybe you need a connection, maybe you need a door open for you. That's why we have open door discussions. That's our bi-weekly event held on Zoom. It's an opportunity to bring your challenges and opportunities, talk to other business owners and our Board of Trade team, where we will try to accelerate your progress to overcoming that challenge or capturing that new opportunity. I want to thank our sponsors for today, Toronto Pearson, Deloitte Private, CN, and Goodison Insurance. Without their support, we would not be able to bring great informative conversations like the one we've had with Susan today. So Susan, thank you so much for your time. I wish you well in your new role, and much success to WCG Employment Ontario. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye now.